Hello, Brother Nashi. How are you, my brother? Please post my story as anonymous. Brother, I have a disease that I am suffering from. I have gone to different doctors, and these doctors, they are just telling me that it is a skin infection. I have been given too many antibiotics. We do have a small clinic close to the place where I am working. It is a private clinic. That woman, she has been making money because I'm always going there, and she always give me this injection of antibiotics. I know that once a month I have to go there. Sometimes I just ignore this infection. The way that I feel pain, sometimes I don't feel pain. I just feel hot flashes when the disease is busy eating up my skin. From inside my skin, I can feel as if there is something that is crawling inside of my skin, like there are insects that are moving underneath my flesh. It usually starts from my toes, then it moves up to my neck. There are days when I scratch myself, and I can scratch myself until I am bleeding. I try to stop, but you can't stop the itchiness that is inside of your veins. Even the nurses, the doctors, they have discouraged me from scratching because I can scratch myself until I can see that my veins, they are swollen. No matter how hard I try to ignore, but still I feel like it is really painful, and I would want to get the relief from this itchiness that will be inside of my veins. And I keep on scratching and scratching until the veins are so swollen. The doctors, they always tell me not to do this. I am a man who has lost everything. I am a man that heaven has laughed at. I used to be a person that was respected in the community. As a teacher, you are respected in the community, but right now, even a Nyaupe boy can gain more respect than what I am. Today, I am just a beggar, and there is a spirit of bad luck that follows me. I was once hired by this other person who had a private school that they had started, but that school, it turned out to be a fly by night. It's just like everything that I touch, it is just bad luck. Brother Nashi, I never thought that with the degree that I have right now, I would come to a person on Facebook and then I start to tell that person some of my deepest secret. Please listen to my story, dear South Africans. Never think that because you have a degree and you have a good job, you are safe from witchcraft. You are never safe from the things of the spirit unless if you go and stay with white people. Brother Nashi, when you see people starting communities like Orania, then you need to know that these people, they just want to be away from us as black people, because it's not about racism, but it is some of the things that we do even to each other. If I have money, brother, I would end up going and staying in Orania, because it is far much better to stay with white people than to stay with our own people. There is too much jealousy amongst our own people because they don't want you to succeed in life, and if they try to make you to stop succeeding physically, they'll end up using witchcraft on you. Brother Nashi, I was an intelligent boy from a very young age, and since I went to university as a man of books, a man who believed in science, and I always said that there is nothing like witchcraft. And whenever I would go with my family for a ceremony in the villages, when they were doing their African traditions, slaughtering cows, I would say that these people, they are still barbarians. They don't know that these things that they believe in, they don't exist. You need to have logic in everything that you do, but there is nothing logic about African witchcraft. It will only affect you and you will go poor. I did not believe in muti, in rituals, but today the ancestors, they have laughed at me, and the ancestors of my neighbors, their tokologies, they are feeding on my life as if I am like a piece of meat. Let me take you back to how I was raised. I grew up in a very strict home in Orlando West. My father was a clerk for the municipality, a man who was a Christian, a man who was very strict. That is why I ended up being a teacher. He made sure that I always stay on my books reading. My mother, she was a nurse at Para, and they were old school. They did not want a child who was a thug or a dreamer. They hated anyone who said that they wanted to end up doing music. They wanted a professional. Every day after school, whilst other boys were playing soccer in the streets, I was inside studying. My father would say, knowledge is the only key that opens doors in this country. They pushed me and my siblings so hard, I did not even have a childhood. All that I had was a library card. I became a teacher. I became a life orientation and history teacher because I enjoyed it and I wanted to be that man who helped other people in the community to achieve what I was also achieving. And I had a nice car that the bank had offered to me, and I was okay. By the time that I was 35, I had everything. I had a beautiful wife who was also a professional. She worked in HR. We had beautiful kids, a boy and a girl. We had a nice 3-bedroom house, and we had everything that I thought life was supposed to give to us. And I was driving a nice car, and I was even a deacon at our local church. And I was a stable man, the man that people used to come to for advices. But you know how it is in life. When life is too quiet, Brother Nashi, you start to get bored of the good life. You start thinking of other things. As men, you will end up looking for something else than your wife. The devil entered into my marriage through my neighbor's daughter, who was so beautiful. Even though I did not like the father, he was an old man who always bent in Bible, and I just did not like it as a Christian. I said that this man with his barbaric ways, I should pray for him. He had a daughter. She was so beautiful. She was someone that had finished a matric, and she was studying through UNISA. She was young, brother. She was so beautiful, and she was unlike some of the other girls that would be at the groove at all the times. That is what I liked a lot about her, the way that she would come to our house and I would help her with assignments. It started innocently. We would be sitting in the front with our laptops, but then the conversations, they changed. I started complaining to her about how boring my life was, how boring my wife was in bed, and she only talked about the bond, the kids, school fees, and this girl, she would listen to me, and she made me to feel like I was a young man. She would touch me here and there, but she told me that she could not date me because she was afraid of my wife. One thing led to another, and I started cheating on my wife. I lost my mind. I was a 40-year-old teacher acting like a teenager. I was now taking this girl to expensive restaurants in Centon using the money that I was supposed to be saving for my kids' university. When my wife found out, it was a mess. She cried a lot. She begged me to think about the family, but instead of being sorry, I became arrogant. And I think that this girl, she was using muti on me because I started being violent towards my wife. My wife did not want to leave the house, but it's like I was possessed by a demon. I'm not the type that can beat a woman, but I started beating my wife. And my wife, because she wanted me, she did not want me to get arrested. She will stay silent. When there is muti that is involved, I don't even get shocked when I hear about domestic violence with a man killing the wife. I blame it on muti. If people were to research the trend, they will end up seeing that the man, he might have been dating a woman that uses a lot of muti, and that woman will make this man to become so cruel towards the wife that he once loved. Brother Nashi, I would humiliate him. I would bring my girlfriend in the house. We would sleep in another room or sleep in the dining room. When my kids would wake up to prepare to go to school, they would see daddy with a girlfriend sleeping. It was just bad. I started drinking alcohol and I stopped going to church. That was when my wife said that she did not want to continue with this toxic marriage anymore. I said that I did not even care. I decided to marry my young girlfriend. I threw a small traditional wedding right there in the yard just after a week when my wife had left. When people would give me advice, I would think that they were so stupid. They just wanted to get involved in my business and they were never supposed to get involved because I never invited anyone to give me advice. So I would always tell them to mind their own business. And I was proud of my young wife. I would show off my wife wherever we would go to. So me and my wife, we started staying together with my new wife, and she wanted us to sell the house, but I was unable to sell the house because me and my wife, we had bought this house together. And my wife had said that she did not want the house to be sold, as in she wanted this house to be an inheritance that we would leave for our kids. So she refused and she said that she was not going to sign anything. I would abuse her over the phone. I would call her like a prostitute, a witch who had came into my life to destroy. Yet she was someone that had built me up and she had given me stability in life. My second wife, she started to show me flames. She would go to grooves now. She would date young men. I once caught her. She was sleeping on the couch with another guy, and we started to fight. Since she was my neighbor's daughter, whenever we would have a big argument, her mother would come. She would get involved. I would be unable to speak with my wife because the mother would be sitting right there. And in an argument, once there is another relative that is involved, you won't be able to do anything. So they started controlling me. They would do whatever that they wanted to me, and I did not even have anything that I could do, and it was just terrible. At the end of the month, the money that I would have, she would take it and she would buy groceries for her own parents. And when I would ask her why there is no food in the house, she will start to cry. Her brothers would come and they will say that you are abusing our daughter. My wife, the one that I used to beat, my ex-wife, she refused to go to the police, right? This woman, whenever we will have an argument, the next thing there will be a police van that will be standing outside. Later on, I found out that she was sleeping with one of the police officers who used to threaten me, who used to even beat me up, and he would tell me that he would shoot me if I continued to abuse my wife. This man had even the audacity to come and collect my wife. That is how terrible it was. Month end, he would come, he would take my wife, and they would go and they will have a nice time, and she will come back the next day around 4 a.m. And that guy, he used to mistreat me a lot, and I became a laughing stock to the young boys because when you have a wife and every man in the street can sleep with your wife, when you are walking around, those young boys that will be sleeping with your wife, they'll be laughing at you. It reached a point where I could not stay with this woman anymore. I went to her parents and I told her that I did not want to stay with their daughter anymore. They fought with me, and my brother-in-law, he beat me up, and then I left Soweto and I started staying somewhere else. She would threaten me. She would say that she was going to find someone who was going to shoot me. I just left my house, Brother Nashi. I left everything. And later on, my wife, she went to court, and then she got this woman evicted from our house. As for now, there are some people that are staying there. They are renting from my wife, because as for me, I said to my ex-wife, it's fine. There is no need for you to share the money with me. I am even embarrassed and ashamed because of the way that I destroyed our life. So after I had divorced my second wife, that was when I started to develop itchy skin. So the first thing that happened when I started to develop this itchy skin, I would have dreams where I would be walking in the forest like that. Then I would be chased by a dogoloshi that I would see that this one, it is a real dogoloshi. It will chase me. And when I would wake up, I would see a shadow on the wall. A shadow will just appear and disappear on the wall. So I thought that maybe it was stress because I had been living in a stressful condition for a very long time. So I said that maybe it was because of the stress. So I did not go to any sangoma. I did not even go to the clinic. What I did was that I stopped using the body lotion that I had been using at that time. I blamed it and I said that it is allergy. I would go to Clicks or Discam and I would buy those allergics, say that maybe I'm just having an allergy. This kept on happening until I saw that it's just too much. I can't do it anymore. And that was when I decided to go to the clinic. When I went to the clinic, they gave me the same allergics, saying that I was having an allergy. The more that I took this medication, the more that I became so sick. At all the times I was sick, and I kept on going to the doctors. One day I went to a private doctor who told me that the disease that I was suffering from, since I had been on antibiotics for a long time, maybe I was supposed to go to a sangoma. I had never thought about it. When I went to a sangoma, I was given some herbs and it felt a little bit better. And then my ex-wife, the second one, she called me. She was crying because we had a child together. She told me that our son was not okay. Even though we had been fighting, I was supposed to go and see my son. When I arrived there, she was home alone. And then she started touching me and we made love. She said that I have been missing you. So I lied to you and I told you that our son is not okay. We slept together, Brother Nashi. After we had slept together, she gave me water. When she gave me a glass of water, when she gave me this glass of water, the water that she gave to me, it felt as if this water, it was decaying. It was not fresh. I even asked her where she had gotten the water from, and she said she had taken it from the kitchen. That was where she got it. But it felt different. It did not feel fresh. When I returned back to where I was staying at that time, my life became a little bit better. But soon after that, then the pain came back. I went to the Sangoma, who told me that when I came to his shrine the first time around, he gave me the muti for free, but now I had to pay. And they said I was supposed to pay because I had returned back to the same people that had bewitched me. When I was given that glass of water, it was ritual water that they gave to me so that I can continue to suffer from this disease. I'm still suffering. I don't know why this woman has punished me. I even told her that it's fine, we can move in together. But she has told me that she is now dating another person. So she just came into my life. She bewitched me. She destroyed my marriage. And she left me with this disease. I can't even work. I'm always scratching myself. I can't date anyone. With the way that I am always scratching myself, someone will think that maybe I have HIV or I have another disease that I will infect them with. So this is my story. I know that some of you are going to judge me, but please do not judge me. It happened, and I want to warn other men. Do not cheat on your wives. Stay with the woman that you married when you did not have money, because once you start to make money, any woman can love you, and it won't mean that it is genuine love. Stay with that woman that brought you out of poverty. I'll be following in the comment section. I'll be grateful if there is anyone who can help me, assist me to get a real traditional healer who won't charge me a lot of money. Dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us try to speak with our dear brother in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Yo, yeah, ne. Let us meet again in the following episode.